Test, test. This is a test of the audio.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. We apologize. We went through all of our methods of streaming our previous Facebook Live with the Guam families, and we still can't figure out exactly what happened with the sound. We're hoping that the video that we recorded has the sound in it, and we can post it for you to see. But we did have this follow-up Facebook Live, which is here with our district leadership from Pacific West. And so I think we're good with audio this time, and we will continue. So thank you for your patience. If we need to go back around to the other one, we'll get back together if we're not able to have the sound on the Guam session previously, but we're going to get started with our district leadership here at Pacific West. My name is Jeff Arrington, and I'm the superintendent for the Pacific West District, and we're going to introduce the people that we have here with us today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Helen Bailey, and I'm one of the community superintendents, and I'm stationed here at Camp Humphreys.
Yeah, hello, I'm Joel Graham, and I'm the Chief of Staff for the Pac West School District.
I'm Gail Wiley, the Community Superintendent in Guam.
Hello, Legina Roberts-Penpen, Career Technical Education, ISS.
Hello, my name is Chung-Sun Kim, School Middle Program Manager in Humphreys.
So thank you. I think that's who we have here with us today. We have also Mr. Swinson, who you see on our Google Meet screen, who's supporting us with our technical connection also today. So we wanted to kind of share with you a few things. Some of it's information, and some of it is our kind of work to move forward and improve within our district. This opportunity on this Thursday, the first Thursday of November, at 5 o'clock Korea time, 6 o'clock Guam time, a little bit after now because of our technical difficulties, but we want to start this as a regular communication opportunity for each month, for us to share anything that's kind of occurred in the last month and to answer some questions and to answer follow-up questions in the comments afterwards. So this is kind of the inaugural monthly communication plan virtual forum from the Pacific West District. So that's what we're here to do today, and we'll share a little bit around the horn, and we'll take some comments and questions. So Mr. Graham, what do we have up first?
I think we should have Ms. Kim share with us tonight. She's from our school meal program from AFES. And Ms. Kim, go ahead, please share.
Okay, please let me know anything else if you would like to know the school meal program. So currently we are serving free breakfast and lunch for all DoDEA students. Currently we are serving breakfast and lunch increased 71% overall in Humphreys and Korea area.
So maybe Mr. Grimm, a little bit more about that opportunity and our appreciation for AFES and kind of breakfast and lunch.
Absolutely. Well, we know as I visit the cafeterias how hard the AFES crew is working down there. Kids are excited to come in each day for breakfast and lunch to receive a great meal. And we know that recently we moved to a free meal program for our students. And for students to participate in that, our parents need to come down to the Base Exchange and sign up for that free meal program. And so that has just recently started. And there's been communication that has gone out from the schools regarding that program. And anyways, we just want to bring Ms. Kim in tonight to share a few words about that, and just thank again the AFE staff for their hard work.
Thank you, Mr. Green.
Yes, this is Helen Bailey. Thank you for joining us this evening. And the first thing that I wanted to remind all of our parents about is how important it is for our families to select the learning environment for second semester. It's critical that we have all of our families select whether or not they are going to choose the in-person school or they are going to choose the DoDEA virtual school. Why is it important? Because your selections will help us determine what our staffing is going to be for second semester. We want to ensure that we have enough teachers in our schools to support all of the students who are coming back to in-person school for second semester. Tomorrow is the last day to make your selection for either in-person school or the virtual school. And all families who are currently in the virtual school will need to make a selection. We also wanted to remind our families about our Teacher of the Year selections and our Principal of the Year. Both of those end on November 13. So the links to the nomination forms are on our Facebook site, and a reminder went out today for both the Principal of the Year and for the Teacher of the Year nominations. So please nominate a fabulous teacher and a phenomenal principal for those awards. And that's all I have.
Yeah, good evening again. So Catherine Pulsifer once said, communication is one of the most important skills you require for a successful life. And as Dr. Arrington said, we are excited to communicate all the great things about our school district and answer questions, and we'll be doing this on a regular basis. So one area that I want to talk about with communication is between parents and our schools. Sometimes as we communicate, there can also be miscommunication. And so we really want to be able to get that solved at the lowest level possible. And we have a chain of communication that we want to encourage everyone to be using. I've noticed in my time in education that a lot of issues can be solved right at the classroom or at the school level. And so if you are having some sort of an issue, please reach out to the school, your child's teacher or coach, and see if you can talk with them first. If you're not able to get that resolved, then talk with the school administration. And then we are here to serve our public. And if that can't be solved at the school level, reach up to us and we will work with you. But again, I think a lot of things can be solved at the school level as part of that chain of communication. Thank you.
So just to remind everybody a few things, Pacific West does include Guam and Korea. And so we kind of keep saying that because it's just started up this year, but when we do Pacific West, that's what we're including. So when I discussed before, we maybe have missed some technical pieces in trying to get the Guam Facebook Live going. However, that's also part of this particular opportunity. So Ms. Wiley, actually nobody's heard your first time around, so that's actually good because we're going to do it again. Could you share a little bit about the opening of the Guam schools over this last week and a half and some of the things you've seen and kind of where we're at with Guam getting started back up?
Good evening, everyone. I am so excited just to be here in Guam and to walk through this reopening with our community. I was here when we closed in March and went to remote, and now I'm here to reopen, and we are so excited. I have gone and spent the day at all 4 schools, and I have seen kids engaged, all of the kids wearing their masks, the little ones. But one of the really exciting things that I heard at McCool on last Tuesday was one little first grader got off the bus and was walking toward her. She wasn't sure which direction, and I kind of guided her. And it was a he, I'm sorry, said, being at school is the best thing ever. I will remember that throughout my retirement, to see that child's face, to say, being at school is the best thing ever. Parents, you have done a wonderful job with your children while we were in remote for almost 7 months. We really appreciate it. You have come back to the schools. You are very cooperative. We give you redirection. You follow the redirections, and we are so excited. And each school has done amazing things to ensure that your children are safe. You respond when we contact you. If we have concerns, you are very responsive, and we are very appreciative. We have been back in school now 8 days, and we are so excited to be in school. So I would like to thank you for that. We will have our next school board meeting on the 17th of November at 6 o'clock. It will be Facebook Live coming from Anderson Elementary School. So again, thank you. We have, this community is definitely a close-knit community. To reopen, we had the command involvement all the way from JRM, Admiral Manoni, General Sloan, Captain Grimes. Everyone was involved. So we have a village here from Anderson Elementary to Navy Base Guam. Thank you very much.
All right, so I'm going to talk for just a minute about facilities and athletics. It truly warms my heart to be able to talk about these, because we've progressed to a point where we are in school. We are in HBCon Bravo. We have students taking on activities in more of a normalized but different normalized way that we did before. And so now we're starting to get those questions about what about those other things that we've done before, or the things that we're getting to do now a little bit, but differently. Can we expand upon those? And so it's good that those questions are coming forward, because what it tells us is people are starting to feel confident in their child being in the in-person environment. And that's exactly what we want to have happen. However, we also want to maintain our vigilance with mitigation so that we don't have students back out of school again. So we're starting to get questions like, okay, so it's great that you're able to play more sports than any other school in DoDEA across the world. In Korea, Guam is starting up with their activities now also. Some of the other schools there haven't quite started up to look at competition and how that's going to work, but that's what we look forward to. But in Korea, in the schools, that's starting to be a question. And so we got, boys and girls volleyball going. They've started to play. Parents are really interested in the streaming, and we're trying to solve that technology too, and maybe standardize it a little bit and see what we can do if the schools are interested in how to get them together to talk between, say, like their SACs and things like that to work it out. And what about, can I come in and watch? But we've still got these strong mitigation measures in place, trying to ensure that our focus is on being able to continue those activities. And so I just kind of want to express that as I talk forward with athletics. Our very first primary focus is on safety. And right there beside it is continuing opportunities for students, even if they look a little bit different. And it's kind of hard to hear, because when I said that, it's continuing opportunities for students. We don't want to exclude parents. We want to bring them in the best we can. But if we do have to choose between there being a limited number of adults, but students having the opportunities, or risking a situation where the students or the adults don't have the opportunity, we're going to choose the one that limits the adults so that students can continue to have those opportunities. And so we have to focus on safety measures first. We looked at the National Federation of High School Sports and what they talk about in opening up athletics again and what you should consider. And they have tier 1 and tier 2. And that's, your necessary people like your players and your officials and those kind of things. And maybe your media people, which is our either parents or sponsors at the school and our students that are going to stream it out to everybody else. But tier 3 is your spectators. That's like the very last level to look at, is bringing in other people, vendors and spectators. So we're just now opening up and we're focused on ensuring those activities continue. We are looking at expanding some of the athletics. We're going to ask some questions. There's not a done deal, but we're going to ask some questions about expanding the athletics a little bit more as far as the sports that we are going to be able to offer. So we hope to have more to you as soon as we get any kind of indication that there's a possibility. We will come back and communicate. We're not there yet. So that's kind of exciting news coming up, but we're working to ensure that we continue the opportunities for students with the athletics that we have now. We do have cross country going. We've got men's and women's tennis, singles and doubles. We got men's and women's volleyball going. We have golf going. We have cheer going. So we have a lot of things going in the COVID-19 environment. We want to keep them going. We are looking to expand. We are asking questions about where are we with public health and with our commands and with the DoDEA higher organization and our operation guidelines and those kind of things. And as soon as we have any more information, we'll share that with you. The same kind of discussion happens with facility use. So a lot of people are wanting to do a lot of good things. I want to do a unit holiday party in the school. I want to prepare things for our quarantined families to share with them. These are great, wonderful things. However, as we're looking at, is there a risk of something happening that could cause students to be out of school even for a day? We really weigh that heavily with deciding when to open facilities to outside organizations. So we are working with our command, we're working with public health, we're working with DoDEA organization and asking the questions. Are we at a point where that's something that we can look at with mitigation measures in place and safety measures agreed upon with the organizations to kind of give more opportunities? So we're not there yet, but we are at the point of having the discussions and asking the questions, which is much further than we were 4 weeks ago when it was nothing. We're just going to get kids in school, use our barriers and our masks, stay apart, and we're going to do some learning. So we're seeing where we can increase. I know that was a lot of words, but that's been a big topic that's come to me a lot over the past 4 weeks. So I wanted to take a minute to share where we are with those particular things. And again, to reiterate, we're at the point of considering them, asking the questions, seeing if it's safe, what kind of mitigation measures we need to have in place, and getting permission and authority if it is something that it's the right time to do. Okay, so I hope I talked long enough to get some questions, Dr. Bailey.
No questions, sir.
Questions? If you missed questions, I tried to type in there in the comments. Keep them a little bit short. They don't have to be like, one word, but keep them a little bit short because we found that on the Facebook Live, it'll cut out the questions if they're too long. So if you felt like you had a question that got missed, maybe put it back in there in a little bit shorter form. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to then, if nothing else pops up, we're going to say, I think we got the information forward. We want to communicate. We're going to be back on each month in a virtual forum across Guam and South Korea. We're here to answer your questions. We want to provide information of what's the current status and any changes that have happened since the last meeting. We'll continue to have forums when information changes, when new information comes up that's before our regularly scheduled communication. Again, the key important things, Dr. Bailey, if you'll hit one more time on the choices for November 6th, because that's like tomorrow, I think.
Yes, tomorrow is the final day for our families to select whether or not they are going to have their students enrolled in-person school or in the DoDEA virtual school. So please make sure you get your selections in by tomorrow, midnight, Eastern Standard Time.
It's really important for our manpower staffing, but mostly for students to have the right learning environment with COVID-19. We know that we have some medically, at-risk students, and we want them to have a safe opportunity to learn, but that timeline is really short. And so it's important that you think about it. It's a one-time selection for the second semester, starts second semester. And this is the time that we have to do it. So that was kind of a big thing tonight because it's timely, get you information about athletics, get you information about facilities and kind of what we're thinking there, let you know about Guam opening back up and that we're seeing great things happening there also. Thanking Ms. Kim for being here. And I mean, that's huge. I know, like, we can't say it enough. Free breakfast and lunch in Korea, free lunch in Guam for students. I think we've committed to the rest of the year. Is that correct?
Yes,
So,
sir.
I mean, that's huge. Hundreds of thousands of dollars that have been committed for students to have that opportunity. Mr. Grimm, did you want to say any last words?
Yeah, I always just have to say thank you to Command, the great partnership we have with them. Every day we talk about how they support us and our needs and really think about the kids first. And what a great homecoming parade we had last week. And couldn't have done that without our Command and our community. And just want to say thank you again.
All right. Well, I think that's it for this evening. If anything else comes up, we'll put it in the comments. If you have questions, we talked about our chain of communication. The lowest level is where you get the fastest and most accurate information. So please use that, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.